Achieving financial success takes dedication, discipline, and most importantly, a plan. For over 30 years, Don Reynolds has helped savers define their needs, formulate their plans, and achieve their goals. From accumulation to preservation and protection, and through the income distribution phase in retirement, implementing the right strategies makes all the difference. Your retirement is our business. Welcome to Strategic Asset Preservation.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Reynolds Wrap. I'm Don Reynolds, and of course, Corey Stilt, my good friend, business partner.
Hello, everyone.
So I hope everybody's doing well. Today, and we're actually going to do 2 episodes on this topic because it's fairly lengthy. And this is something new we really haven't talked about, but it's really about caring for loved ones is really the theme of this.
Yeah.
We know that's very important to most people. And what we mean by that is we're talking about your family, your children, and how do you care for them, as you go forward in life and into retirement. I think the very first thing that we want to talk about here, and really there's really, I think there's 10 or 11 different topic subjects on this, or maybe even more than that. It might even be 13, I guess, or 12. But anyway, first thing we really want to talk about is what we call putting last things first. And what we mean by that, folks, is you have to have your affairs in order. Mm-hmm. And when we mean last things, we're talking about wills, trusts, things of that nature, your home. You never think about these things when we're alive because it really doesn't matter when we're alive. It's when we pass, that's when, when I say the rubber meets the road with this one. And if you don't have your affairs in order, and I'm sure many people have heard about the horror stories out there of a lot of, like Prince, for example, we could use him, didn't have a trust or a will, what a nightmare. So it's imperative that you do this, folks. And I would say we still probably see 30-40%. Would you agree, Cole?
Oh, we do. Yeah, we do.
Come to the office, don't have a will, don't have anything.
Yeah.
They're in their 60s, and I just shake my head kind of like,
yeah.
So we kind of, we don't make people feel bad. That's not our job. Our job is to inspire, to get them to get these things done.
Yeah, yeah. Very important to have them in place before it's too late, because, of course, if it's too late and you need them, then that's not the right time. It's already passed at that point. So wills can cover things like living will, power of attorney, healthcare directives, things like that. Very important to have that in place, again, before an event happens, in which that would be a document that you wish you had. Trusts will supersede wills, of course. And really what we find most often that's very concerning is not so much the wills or the trust, but just having your beneficiaries listed properly on accounts. That's one of the biggest things is you want to make sure, and we do for our clients and or people that meet with us, is we do a quick assessment on their beneficiaries, make sure they're listed properly, because again, upon passing, the beneficiaries listed on many accounts, insurance accounts and different things, will actually surpass what a trust or a will is. So again, there's kind of a hierarchy, and you got to make sure that you have it all enlisted and properly and filled out properly, again, before that time comes to pass. Now, Don mentioned and started this program talking about children. A lot of clients that we work with today and people we meet with today are caring for children yet. In fact, Don will share some statistics in a minute and expand on that, but it's alarming on how many children are still living with their adult, mothers and fathers, and again, what that can do to put a strain on that family.
Yeah, so most recent survey done, 58% of adults ages 18 to 24 still live at home with mom and dad. Yep. And even it's 17%, 25 to 34 are still living at home with parents. And so, that does a strain on both sides, because obviously if you have adult children living with you, mom and dad are trying to become empty nesters, but part of that is our economy, the world we live in today. Obviously going through COVID and everything created some problems. Mm-hmm. But, the other places where I guess it comes into play is actually with a budget, because mom and dad are living their life and they've kind of got their budget, but now they've got a child living with them, and maybe that child's working and helping provide support to the household. But again, that could put a financial challenge on the parents.
Absolutely it can. Absolutely it can. And not only if they're living with them, but again, we have this a little later, but I think it fits in right here, is all too often we will splurge on our children. I know I'm very guilty of that. I've done a lot of coaching in my life, very active in sports with my children and whatnot. And I'm just always amazed that when I coach some of these teams, when I look at some of the parents and what they will splurge or spend on their child or their grandchild in relation to sports, whether it be for lessons or equipment or things like that. And again, I don't want to point the finger, because then I look at my own situation and there might be another area, maybe hunting for me, for our children, or whatever it might be, where all of a sudden I don't follow my budget and spend, exceedingly amount of money on different topics when it comes to kids. So again, a heart tugger there, and just to make sure that, again, you've got a plan in place that can be supported on that. So.
Yeah, just to ad lib on that, another way to can support our children as they're growing is 529 plans, for college savings. That's a great way to let money grow tax-free as long as you take it out. There have been some changes with those. Now, one of them is in the Secure 2.0. If your child, say you start your 529 when they're 5 years old, and 15 years later they're 20 and they decide not to go to college, you can actually roll that money up to $35,000 into a Roth IRA in that child's name. That's new, because there's never been anything like that. It was kind of, if you don't use it, you, so to speak, lose it, and all the growth in that thing's going to become taxable to you. So there's a way to get out of that, so to speak.
Yeah. And life insurance is a good area there too. We've worked with some clients on that, that want to help not only their children, but their grandchildren, and maybe look at a life insurance plan, an index universal life option, where they fund that for so many years, and then their child can take out a lump sum distribution or a loan against that policy in the future to help pay for college for a grandchild, and then maybe leave the policy sit for a while and then turn into maybe some income streams or loans against that policy later on for their own child to help in retirement. Again, tax-free, again, if it's structured properly. So a lot of different options there that can be used for that. I know we're kind of getting close on time here on our podcast on this one, but as we said, there's a long list, and we want to get into spouses and other areas here in our next episode. But anything else you wanted to add on the children, or?
No, I think that really does kind of cover it. I think, what's most important is we know there's a lot of information for folks. And like we always say, if there's one of these subject matters that, really, kind of jumps out at you, and if you're listening to the podcast and you have more questions in depth about your own personal situation, that's what we're here for. It's a free phone call, and our time is free to give to you to help educate and understand. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call us at 651-773-3859. Again, that's 651-773-3859. And with that, we want to thank you for your time. And our next episode is going to be kind of the follow-up, or the back end of all of these topics about caring for loved ones, because we know how important that is to all of us. So with that, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. Thanks, folks. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Listen to more with Don Reynolds and Corey Stilp on the Strategic Asset Preservation Podcast by visiting 800preserve.com.
The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes.
Fiduciary duty extends solely to investment advisory advice and does not extend to other activities such as insurance or broker-dealer services. Advisory clients are charged a quarterly fee for assets under management, while insurance products pay a commission, which may result in a conflict of interest regarding compensation.
Advisory services offered through Brookstone Capital Management, a registered investment advisor.